and welcome back to Bad Moms in Business, the podcast. We are going to talk about a little bit of pop culture today. You guys, if you know me in real life, you know that I am living, breathing the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial.
Obsessed, like next level obsessed. And I totally thought that would be me out of this trio here because I have been obsessed with Johnny Depp my entire life.
You guys.
But
Bridgette, you just
give
made
it to us. Let's
laugh with your love for this. So talk to me all things Johnny Depp.
I love it.
Yeah, let's do that.
I love a true crime story. I love a court TV. Mm-hmm. I love a celebrity. When you mix all of those things together, I mean, I can't get enough. So for those of you who don't know, it's a little complicated, and I'm not going to go into the entire thing. But basically, when the Me Too movement happened, Amber Heard purposely, it's been revealed through the trial, purposely decided to publish an article that she was a victim of domestic violence in accordance with the release of a very big movie so that she would get the press. Mm-hmm. The ACLU helped her write this article. The whole thing is just crazy. So she releases this article about how she's been a victim of domestic violence. Her ex-husband, Johnny Depp, loses his job from Pirates of the Caribbean and every other subsequent job thereafter. And so now he is suing her for defamation. He's not suing her saying, you're the one that hit me.
Right.
I was the one that was abused. He is suing her specifically for publishing an article that defamed him.
Yep. Okay? And basically lost wages.
Correct. She is countersuing him because she now has lost wages over all of this.
No,
let's face it, girl.
Let's just
even a good actress.
Thank you. Let's stop right there. You lost your wages because you suck at doing what you make money at.
And the trial has kind of reflected that ability.
Right?
I mean,
we're on day 17 of the trial today. Mm-hmm. It's in Virginia. Boy, oh boy, has this just been the most fun thing to watch. Johnny Depp. Let me first start with domestic violence is not funny.
No, agreed. Yeah.
Johnny Depp is not innocent in this. While I wholeheartedly agree that he never laid a hand on that woman, he certainly was not innocent in the fact that he said some really terrible things.
For sure.
He did some really terrible things. But in my heart of hearts, I don't believe it was ever physical, which is what she reported in that article, which is what he's suing about.
Sure.
Yep. We have heard so many celebrity name drops in this courtroom. Kate Moss.
That was a big one.
Kate Moss was a big one.
One.
Elon Musk, Marilyn Manson, James Franco, the list goes on and on and on. It has been just a real joy to watch. So today she's being cross-examined, meaning she's on the stand and Johnny Depp's lawyers are questioning her. It started yesterday with the cross-examination and his lawyers beat her down. It was so awesome. Not physically.
I didn't get to watch it and I haven't even seen any clips yet, so I'm excited.
Go to, if you are interested in just like the 30,000-foot view of whatever it is, there's an Instagram account called House in Habit. And her Instagram stories, they're perfect. Yeah. They will give you the overarching, this is what happened today. It's so good. So good. But Amber Heard's a terrible actress. And she's like fake crying, but there's no tears. And Johnny Depp has been so charming, which I'm sure is a PR move. I'm sure everything is very
calculated.
But I've always gotten that vibe from him that he's just like a genuinely like charismatic, go with the flow, funny. Like I've just always gotten that vibe from him. Any interview I've ever seen, he's just chill.
100%. Yeah. I don't think that his charm is manufactured, but I think some of the situations that he's finding himself within the courtroom are manufactured.
Well, that's probably true.
Like he always talks to the court stenographer every single morning.
Okay, so I have to say, while I'm not obsessed such as Bridget is, I have found myself on the right side of TikTok with the trial, and that's the way to, in my opinion, to keep up with it, because they do those little clips, and the clips of him like, winking at her. It's so fun, like very calculated, but cute at the same time.
And she's like an older woman. He's not flirting with her. He's just being sweet. It's so cute to me.
It is cute.
Always eating candy. And his lawyer the other day, like pulls candy out of his pocket and sets it in front of Johnny.
God, I just love him so much. Like, I know that this is, some people are not going to agree with us on this. And when we did the celebrity crushes, I was like, this is going to be a controversial one because I don't know how people feel about this, but God, I just love him.
And I'm glad a lot has come out since the celebrity crush one, because I know you were hesitant to put him on the list because of where that stood, and now kind of where it is now. I think you can proudly have him on the list, and it doesn't take away from the fact that you think he's an attractive guy anyway. But
beautiful, always has been.
Johnny is actually doing a very good job orchestrating this, acting through this. Like I'm not saying what he's doing isn't genuine. He's just being very smart, and she's just not good at what she's doing.
Every morning he arrives to the court, like jamming out to music. He pulls up in his Suburban or whatever it is. And his lawyer or whoever, driver, maybe, I don't know. I guess I don't pay close enough attention because I'm just so excited to see him get out. So, but they open up the door and the music's like blaring and he gets out and he's waving to everyone who's outside. But have you guys seen that Amber Heard is copying what he wears?
Yes, she is. It's like psychological warfare. She's like just trying to just get in there and just weasel her way into his brain and just mess with things.
That's just sad for her.
It's stupid. Like what? I don't know who's allowing this to happen, if she's choosing her wardrobe or if somebody else is helping her do this and stuff. But like, what is this going to accomplish? You look insane.
She has a whole team of people. Someone absolutely has to be telling her what to wear. And she's
her PR team, you know what I'm saying?
She's got to be doing the opposite.
Have you heard the drama about the PR team?
Yeah, she fired everybody.
Oh, it gets better.
Oh,
it gets better.
Oh, I'm excited.
Hang on, please. Gosh, she ruins everything.
She only yells at Ariel when she's trying to talk Johnny Depp.
And right when she was about to drop a bomb on us.
Yes, drop that bomb.
Okay. All right. Tell us.
So Amber hired a new PR guy. His name is David Shane. Okay, great.
Okay.
He's sitting in the courtroom 2 weeks ago because they were on hiatus last week. Sitting in the courtroom, just looking gross. Like I don't like it. I don't like it. He's got like a look about him. So House and Habit, like I said, this Instagram account, she's been getting all of this inside information from people. And I guess she covered the Ghislaine Maxwell. How do you say her name?
Oh, the pedophile lady?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So she's gained some notoriety because she's covered these high profile cases. So people
what's her name again?
House in Habit.
House and Habit. Absolutely on IG right now. Look at her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah.
I wrote it down, but
so this woman last week sends her a message and she says, the new PR guy, I met him on Raya. Raya is a celebrity dating app. Like you have where you have to be someone of a certain stature to be able to join Raya. I think it's invite only. It's like very exclusive. So this woman says, I met him on Raya. The first time we went out, he took me to an expensive restaurant. He got super, super drunk. It was embarrassing. For some reason, and I'm paraphrasing, for some reason, I agreed to go back out with him. He got drunk again. We somehow ended up at his condo. Not somehow. She ended back up at the condo. Let's face it.
Yeah. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah, weird. But then he basically was like, well, I took you out to these two really fancy restaurants. You owe me. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that at all. And I guess he was sending her, there's screenshots of like these messages that he was sending her. And then years later, he popped back up in her text messages like, hey, what are you doing? So she went on, there's a Facebook group for people in Raya. And she went on and she just said, hey, this guy's a creep. This was my experience. Well, apparently a lot of other women had similar experiences. So House and Habit published all of this stuff. He has disappeared from social media. He was not in the courtroom yesterday.
Oh,
like, it's bad. So
she fired her new PR team.
Fired. I think he's just hiding because here he is representing someone who's claiming the Me Too movement when he's got a bunch of Me Too claims on him. So it's all like it's like an onion. There's so many layers.
How stupid that's the person you would hire for your PR of all things.
I know there's so much. She pledged $7 million, which was all of her divorce settlement money.
Yep.
To the ACLU and to Children's Hospital of LA. Children's Hospital has not seen a dime of that money. ACLU has seen $350,000. $100,000 came from Johnny Depp himself in her name. The rest came from Elon Musk in her name. Because she was seeing Elon Musk for a time. There's some gossip that potentially her baby that she had via surrogacy is his. Like,
oh, that's the next thing to come out if it is.
There's so much.
Wow.
But in yesterday's cross-examination, they brought up you haven't paid the ACLU a dime, or these charities, you haven't fulfilled your promises. Johnny Depp offered to direct that $7 million, split it the way you wanted to during the court proceedings. And she said, well, I didn't want him to do that because I didn't want him to get the tax benefits.
Give it up, lady.
She wanted the money to go directly to her so she could do whatever she wanted with it. Let's be honest.
I don't know how the case is going to end up. I don't know who's going to, we would suspect it would end up in favor of Johnny, but crazy things have happened, right? But at the end of the day, it has still did what he needed it to do for him to get 100%. Back on his feet. So bravo to Johnny Depp and his team.
And I've heard that that's why he was pushing for this. I don't know how true this is. Bridget, you can probably tell me if this is true, but I had seen on some sort of YouTube channel or something that they were talking about it really like the likelihood that he wins this case is actually pretty low, because if there's any form of abuse, mental, verbal, physical, anything, he would automatically lose the case. And so if they can spin this to say that he was verbally abusive or anything, he would automatically lose. But that the reason he wanted to push for this to be, televised and everything was so he could basically clear his name with the general public.
Correct. And I think he's done that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Listen, he had substance abuse problems. We all know that.
Yep.
He admitted to it on the stand. Like, yes, yep, I did. And so I think a lot of and again, this is not an excuse, but I think a lot of the episodes of violence, whether it was verbal or emotional, came during those times.
Yep.
But
I agree.
She recorded a lot of their conversations. You can go to the Fairfax County public records and you can find all of the evidence that's been submitted.
Wow.
Because in court, they might play 45 seconds of the recording, but there are some recordings that are hours long and you can listen to them all. I have not done that. I mean, I did go to the website and I did like.
I did go to the website and I like listened to some of them, but not like all of them.
But yeah, so there's definitely evidence of him saying not great things. But she was not innocent either. There's a lot of evidence of her saying terrible things. There's evidence of him withdrawing from drugs. I don't remember what drugs specifically. And she was supposed to be giving him Suboxone. Yes. And he could have it like every 4 hours or something like that. And there's video or audio of him begging for her to give him the medication. And she's like, it's not been 4 hours. Sorry. It's just a lot of it is so sad. All of it is sad, truly.
Wow.
It's and two wrongs don't make a right. But I challenge anyone to say that their relationship has been perfect and that someone hasn't said something very harmful or hurtful or borderline or absolutely verbally abusive.
Mm-hmm.
No, every relationship has had their struggles. It's just most people don't actually record the 2-hour conversations.
Yeah, it's just sad. So one of the things that the part of the reason we wanted to talk about this, because I'm just obsessed with it and I can't stop. But I think when the Me Too movement first came out, it was believe all women. Every time a woman tells you that she's been abused, you must believe her. And while I still believe that, I mean, it is important to believe what women say and at least give them the benefit of the doubt, I guess. Men are not exempt from being victims of domestic violence either. And that is so important for us to remember. And women are not exempt from making things up or spinning things, especially when it comes to high profile people, in order to gain notoriety or money or fame or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a tough line to toe. You want to believe that a victim is being honest when they say they've been abused. But I think this case is showing us that there's always going to be more to the story.
You have to look at all sides.
And I think I didn't have a problem with the Me Too movement. I had hesitation with the Me Too movement. I really believed, because I think every single one of us could give a scenario where we were borderline harassed or absolutely were 1,000%. Mm-hmm. So I do believe women all have stories like that. But as a mom of a young man, my biggest concern was exactly what Johnny is going through, that just because it was trendy and because there's a woman in the scenario, that an accusation could absolutely have screwed up his entire future. And so I'm glad that this has kind of brought light to your point, Bridgette, that there just needs to be a little bit of due diligence, that just because someone says it doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't mean it's not true. But I think we owe it to everyone to be able to see, like you said, all sides.
And I think part of the reason the Me Too movement was so necessary is because we had rapists who were convicted, who were found to be guilty. And then we had judges saying, well, we don't want to ruin this poor guy's life. He graduated from Stanford. He has such a bright future. Let's give him a couple of months in jail and some community service. We're so worried about ruining the man's life. Mm-hmm. We're not considering the fact that the woman that he assaulted has to live with that trauma for the rest of her life.
You don't want to get me started on that topic. There's a whole other subject we could talk about there.
Yeah.
Did I ever share with you guys the time when I was in the hardware store that a guy came up to me?
Your hardware store.
Did I ever tell you that a guy came up to me and kissed me?
What?
Yes. Yes. So when I say like all women have stories, like I have several. There was a gentleman who would just come in and he just walked the area and he came in and he had a very thick accent. So a lot of times I tried my best to like help him as much as I possibly could, but sometimes like I just could not, like it was so heavy. And so the one time I was in aisle 4 because I was working in plumbing.
Aisle 4?
Aisle 4. He walked right up to me and I thought he was just going to ask me a question. And he came in for a kiss. I was so stunned. It just happened. Like, I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And so he walked away and said, thank you. I could understand that clear as day. And there was a gal that I worked with walked past the aisle and I screamed out her name just to get her to like come down there so he would actually like walk away. And I went and told one of my fellow managers at the time and he like kicked the guy out of the store. And I go, should police have been called at that point? Like I look back, I was so young and I go, gosh, like he should not have been able to get away with that.
Yeah.
At all.
I cannot believe that.
And for him to walk away and say, thank you.
Thank you.
Ew. Ew.
When I was in 6th or 7th grade, I was young.
Oh no.
You were a baby.
Young. We did we went to a homeless shelter. That's not the right word. We went and gave out meals, like at a place. What is that called?
A shelter. A shelter.
Was it a shelter though, or whatever? It doesn't matter. Yeah, I think it must have been in a shelter. And we were giving meals to the homeless, and they were all seated, and we were like, delivering these meals. And every time I walked past this man, he would grab my butt. It happened multiple times, and I never told anybody because I was so embarrassed that was happening to me. I mean, I've since told the story, but
yeah,
that is assault.
100%.
That is why the Me Too movement was important.
Mm-hmm.
These are the stories. But unfortunately, because of the importance of the stories that like ours that need to be heard, people use it as an opportunity to do what she's doing. That is awful, Bridgette. And you were so young.
So young. I was Aaron's age.
And I will put on record, I'm sure you had a very hot little body.
I doubt it, but okay.
Right. But that still doesn't it's not your fault that he can't control his hand.
Yeah. I will never, ever.
I have 2 quick stories about this. I actually have a third, but we won't get into it. But 2 quick stories, nowhere near as invasive as either of yours. When I was probably like 13, 14, something like that, I was walking in the mall with my mom and some guy took a picture of my butt. My mom about lost it. And this wasn't a thing, it was like a camera, a camera.
Flash went off.
We didn't even know until we heard the noise and we turned around and we're like, are you kidding me right now? And then
that's right, because you have to remember disposable. Was it a disposable?
I don't remember.
It doesn't matter.
But it was noises no matter what.
Yeah. Young people, your camera doesn't make no noises, but the phone's used to
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And then the other one was I went to a Rob Zombie concert and I was wearing a skirt. Shouldn't have done that. And
nope.
Don't you dare.
You can wear whatever you want. Go ahead.
Some guy was walking towards me and I was like, man, why is he walking like that? And he was kind of like walking down and it was really weird. And he started to get lower and lower and he tried to put his head up my skirt.
That's just gross.
Yeah.
And so invasive.
There was a female security guard standing very close to me and she escorted him out very quickly.
Good.
But
good.
I also gave a quick one too.
Good for you.
But I mean, what am I going to do? It didn't even affect
doesn't matter.
It
snapped him out of it. And no, that's not okay.
Yeah, that was a bad time.
Bravo to that woman's security guard, because I'm not saying a man would have let it slide, but
she's a boss too. She was not, you could see that look on her face. She was not somebody to mess with. She was not going
to play. Good for her. We need more women that will actually do that.
Yep.
Good for her. See, so right here, Bridgette's butt got copped a couple times. I got kissed, and Danielle had a head up her skirt. I mean,
Not quite, but he was working on it.
wow.
That is why the Me Too movement was so important, because women were afraid to tell their story because A, they weren't believed, B, they were blamed, or C, the person was convicted, but they got a slap on the wrist because how dare we ruin some man's life.
Agreed.
It was so important. It still is important. But I think now that we have gotten the momentum that we got from it, it's time to maybe dial it down a notch and just remember that there are people out there like Johnny Depp who were victims as well.
And I think this kind of hopefully will remind everybody to just be truthful. Do not make up stories. Do not spread false information about people, because it will probably come out in some way or another. You do not want to be on that side of things.
No, especially in a world that is so fact checkable, if that's a word, because everything's so documented and recorded. So don't lie.
Yeah, they were able to go back on his text messages and phone calls and stuff like that for years. So like this stuff does not go away.
Well, and I think that's what makes me really angry with her is she really dilutes the important message of the people who were truly victimized. And that makes me very upset. While I am grateful this came to light so we can see the other side of the story for a lot of men, I'm just angry that she would take that opportunity and use it for bad. It's just not cool.
Yep.
And for gain to purposely release something around the release of a movie so that people would know her name. It
seems like she's just spiteful too. Like she's just trying to bury him, and I can't stand that.
Yeah.
No.
Well, if we're on day 17, I think they've like blocked out 4 to 6 weeks for this trial. I don't know what else is next. So she's being cross-examined by Johnny's counsel right now, but her counsel will have the chance to redirect. And then I don't know what to expect. I really kind of hope that Kate Moss darkens the doors of that court. I
would love that.
Me too. We'll see. So
there was like a little fist bump action or something like that.
And the reason for that, they were praying
that she would drop that name
because I guess they couldn't depose her because it would have been like hearsay.
Yep.
But now that she has entered it into court records, now call her in.
You know, her attorneys were like, no.
I know.
No.
One of the many clips I saw on TikTok was all of the hearsay nonsense.
Oh my gosh.
And Johnny just was going like, these are my own, like, this is me talking about me. It's not hearsay. Like it just was, they're grasping at straws at this point.
Yeah.
He would say something and then look at one of her attorneys and be like, am I good?
Yeah.
Can I say this here? And then one of her attorneys objected his own question. And the judge is just like, you asked the question.
The patience of that judge, right?
My favorite are the TikToks that just focus on her, and she sits like she'll call a break, and then she just sits like
wow, I need to digest this.
I think for the first time in Bridgette's life, her regret in life is to not have become a judge, so she could be that judge of that trial. Could you imagine, Bridgette, if you were the one up there?
And listen, I am one of those weirdos that loves jury duty. Like, give me jury duty. I want to sit on the jury. I've been on a jury one time. It was the best experience of my life. I loved it so much, and I want to do it again. So Wayne County, call me.
Next time I get mine, I'll send it to you.
That's going in a reel, and your whole rest of your life's going to be on jury duty. They're going to go, you ask, you shall receive.
Yeah, right.
No,
you put that out there.
If you get a notice in the mail like next week, that is not coincidental.
I know. I hope I do.
Oh my gosh, you are so funny.
Hey, that is our civic duty as citizens of the United States. So go
Yeah.
you, Bridgette.
Yeah.
I'll do it, Bank, and be happy about it.
Oh, it was
I've never
so-
actually successfully gone all the way through. They were actually, there was a group of us and they were hand selecting which ones were going to be a part of it. And then the guy pled guilty and was just like, I'm guilty. It's fine. So then we all got sent home after like 4 hours of sitting there.
I was only called one time and I was there for 2 days. I almost had to sit on it. And it was a murder one too. And I was like, like I would have felt that's a big deal to me. I'd feel guilty about making somebody guilty.
Yeah. No, not if they were guilty.
But are they guilty?
I don't know.
Because
That would be
it truly is beyond a reasonable doubt. And
Right.
if my mind has a doubt, like, and I'd be the reason for like a documentary. And then there was Amanda as a jury. And I'll be on the do not call list for every county around here. There's your warning, people. Don't call me for jury duty. Oh, well, this went way longer than we expected, but I mean, as is the Johnny Depp trial. So
Exactly.
I know
that. Well, thank you for sharing your insight into this trial, Bridgette. Any final thoughts on recapping our episode on Johnny Depp?
Check out House and Habit if you're interested in just like the overarching what happened today and then like the behind the scenes dirt. And that's it. Oh, and don't watch it on Court TV. My gosh, they go to commercial every 3.5 minutes. It's the worst. You can go to lawandcrime.com and it will direct you to the YouTube link and it's live and it's beautiful. Do it that way.
That is wonderful. And Bridgette is in charge of our show notes. I don't know if you all know that, but expect today's show notes to be like quadruple the size as normal because she probably has a lot to say. And she will also include the link to the IG channel for her. And that's fun. That's fun. Thank you for that, Bridgette. Thank you for this episode.
Team Johnny. Team Johnny.
3 Team Johnnies here. Let us know if you agree or not.
Yeah. I'm curious. I have not met one person that was Team Amber, so I'm curious.
Sorry, Amber.
Sorry, not sorry.
All right, guys. We will see you next week for another episode of Bad Moms in Business. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.